All right, good morning, everybody. It's the day after Thanksgiving. I'm back in the same neighborhood. Actually, the house I was hanging Christmas lights on the other day is right through the trees on the corner over there. And now I'm over here on this one doing the same thing. But I just want to sort of clear the air on some things, because I got quite a response from that last video I did. I didn't think that many people were going to take to that, especially after all the other videos I've done. So it was sort of unexpected. I just want to say, again, I'm not perfect. I'm not a teacher. I don't hold myself in any higher regard than a bum on the street. I'm a soul attached to this avatar, this physical avatar, and I'm 44 years old, and throughout my life I was severely abused as a child, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, religiously. And so what that did was that just set me up. My whole life I've been able to see how, everything just works on like an abuser-abused relationship, or somebody taking advantage of somebody else, whether it be the government taking advantage of all of its people, or corporations taking advantage of its employees, or whatever, and I've seen nothing but gaslighting my whole life. So I'm very sensitive to those things. And the reason I even started this channel was, I was recovering from another head injury. I've had several head injuries throughout my life. My last one was over a year and a half ago, and that's how this journey started. And now I'm here talking about things and dealing with issues that I never thought would have anything to do with healing. And come to find out, this healing is a multifaceted approach. It's, it's recognizing and accepting things for what they are, first of all. Admitting to the illusion that we've been placed under, admitting to the enslavement we were born into, recognizing and accepting that our parents, were part of our enslavement, that this whole society is set up to where our captors, our jailers, have us policing each other and keeping each other chained down like crabs in a barrel. We pull each other down and make sure that not one of us gets free. It's a perfect system for keeping people enslaved. It's got its checks and balances to make sure that that it's almost impossible to break free. And the reason is not because you can't do it, but because, especially in this society in America, they say, we're so overburdened with work and responsibilities and keeping up with the Joneses, and, the American dream, which again, the American dream, you have to be asleep to believe it. It's all a farce. It's all a lie. It's all an illusion. It's all a manipulation to keep you enslaved, guys. We are not this physical avatar. We are souls embodied into these physical avatars that are attracted to and attached to our physical avatar. That's what we are. We live a very, 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 very short physical existence, and then we are back into our soul, our spirit, and then, probably tricked and reincarnated back here due to being in love with this drama, this theater called life, that they've tricked us into. So my whole point in this, and where I've come across in the past year, is that this is a complete enslavement, and what our purpose is way beyond acquiring anything in this physical realm, way beyond status, way beyond, gaining trophies and position and anything like that, climbing the ladder of whether it be corporatocracy or social standing or whatever. That is not our purpose in this existence. Our purpose in this existence is not to be nice and going along to get along and just going with the flow and agreeing and making things easier for other people either. Our purpose in this existence is to recognize and accept things for what they are, reclaim our authority, detach from this 3D illusion, all its breads and circuses and all the wants, desires, the feelings of lack and walking in truth, fact, and reality, aligning our thoughts, our words, and our actions, using the faculties of our mind, of reason, and aligning our will with what we come out with our reason as we filter things through our brains, not blindly accepting, going along to get along, group thinking, slave thinking, and giving up our freedom for the illusion of safety. There's no man or woman over any single one of us. We are our own authentic sovereign beings. Nobody should be telling me what to do. Nobody should be telling you what to do. We shouldn't be leaning on the veracity of another. We should be checking and balancing everything on our own. And that's the thing is that's where we're at. And, that's why this food thing is so important. How are we going to sit here and complain about the government holding us down, about the government fucking us over, about the government taking our money and spending it on wars to kill poor people and take the resources all over the world, about the media, spinning everything, about the propaganda, about the, our employers using us for every last ounce of our damn energy that we have and for the least amount of compensation possible. How are we going to how are we going to complain about our neighbors treating us like shit? How are we going to complain about our family members not respecting us, our kids not respecting us, this and that? The other thing, it's always someone else. It's not about that, guys. How are we going to complain about those things if we are purposefully poisoning ourselves? Listen, anything in a grocery store is not food. I'll say that again. Anything that comes in a grocery store, just about 95% of the shit in a grocery store is not even food by definition. It is poison. It is 100% toxic poison. That's all it is. So if you're shoving your face and it affects, you have more neurons in your digestive system than you do in your brain, that's in your head. So that's how sensitive your digestive system is to these toxins, to these poisons. And if you are, for 40 years, I shoved my face full of dead animal flesh, cooked foods, processed foods, sugars, all this stuff. So what it does is it creates a lining, like a tar, a mucoid plaque, a plaque like you get on your teeth when you don't clean them, when you eat shit. And what it does is it lines your digestive tracts. That way all those neurons are deadened. You are just dead inside. You actually become a living entity inside of you, a snake, a demon, a devil inside of your digestive system that is now controlling your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions to things, your energy levels. It gets you hooked, addicted. Okay, this is all part of building up the ego and pulling your spirit away, pulling your soul away from the driver's seat. Again, your soul was taken out of the driver's seat due to trauma and abuse as a child, being force-fed poisons, being forced how to sleep, how to react, how to fit into social standards, how to pass tests in school. So you were what that does is that puts you in fight or flight. And when put in that fight or flight mode from that young of an age, in order to survive, the soul cannot operate, because in order to survive, you have to comply. You have to do things that the soul does not agree to. So what happened was the ego took over. When the ego is in that driver's seat, and by the time you're 18 and can start really making decisions on your own, you've already built up that mucoid plaque in your belly. So now you got the ego who's in front, but your soul that keeps on knocking and saying, hey man, when you gonna let me take over? But then you got that mucoid plaque that's running everything, that's even coming back and saying, no, all those little parasites, different parasites, the parasites for the meat, there's parasites from all the different things you've come in contact with and put in your face your whole life. So again, if we're poisoning on ourselves on purpose, okay, literally poisoning ourselves, guys. And you might say, oh, it's the greatest standard of living today. People are living to their 70s. By the time I get there, people will be living to their 90s. And the technology and blah, 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 blah. Guys, it's not like that. This is all a farce. We are living out a narration. We are living out a narrative. Everything, there's nothing new under the sun. They are replaying humanity over and over, resetting humanity every 200 years. Once we as a group catch on and become too smart for them, and our souls really start knocking and that energy starts coming, they have to reset us. And that's what we're in right now. That's why things are so crazy right now. They're resetting us as we speak. They've been resetting us for the past few years. This reset started probably a few years ago. They're wiping people out all over the place, left and right, and resetting us. So it's not, oh, well, I live till I'm 70 years old. And by healing, we're not trying to grasp onto this life, but we are souls that are responsible for our physical avatar. And if we are seriously poisoning ourselves, again, how can we expect anybody or anything to treat us any better than we're treating ourselves? And if we won't even give ourselves the time and attention, and we're constantly giving it to celebrities and sports stars and politicians and neighbors and people on the internet and people here and people there and everywhere else, except for that time and attention for ourselves and taking care of ourselves and our own needs and addressing our own concerns and addressing our own issues, then how do we expect anybody else to treat us any better? And that's where we're at right now. We are in a society where everybody is so used to being treated like shit and spends no time on themselves, and thinks that they're going to be a martyr and go out there and save the world and do good things and virtue signal, and yet they're not even doing it for themselves. And that's the problem. If everybody would just turn inwards and quit playing these games and distractions. The reason people do these things is because they don't want, the hardest thing you can do is focus on yourself and take care of your own shit. Because then you are really held accountable. You start holding yourself accountable for your actions, for your thoughts, for your words, for your emotions, for the way you respond to things, for the things you indulge in. And when you start doing that, you have to, because through your faculty of your mind and your ability to reason, you go, well, I see that this is poison that I'm putting in my ears with all this music that I'm listening to. I see this is poison I'm putting in my eyes with all this media I'm watching, this smut media and this porn and this war games and all this crap is just poisoning my eyes, and all this stuff that I'm eating and that I'm buying at the fast food restaurants or any restaurant, and it's all full of 30 freaking chemicals to make one thing that's not even a real thing, that's just hitting off taste buds and dopamine, that's called a poison, that's poisoned me internally, that doesn't even get digested properly. So, you have to, when you start holding yourself responsible, you can no longer indulge in these things. And guys, you are more addicted to food than a heroin addict is to heroin. You got to quit pointing your finger and going, oh, look at those homeless people. They can't even get off their drugs. They're so poor. They're stuck in the streets and blah, 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 blah. Look at yourself. You need to start pointing the finger at yourself. If you're overweight, if you're even 2 pounds overweight, if you're having any kind of joint issues, back issues, if you're having any kind of mental problems, if you're having any kind of emotional issues, depression, anxiety, anything like that, any kind of issue whatsoever, guys, you need to look at yourself, because you are doing it to yourself. It is your diet. It is your diet of food. It is your diet of media, it is your diet, it is your consumption issues of the things you put in your ears, on your skin, in your eyes, and in your mouth. And it's as simple as that. But I'm going to be starting another channel. I won't be doing too many more videos on this channel. I'm going to be starting another channel. I already started it. You might be able to find it. It's called Embodied Souls. Embodied Souls. Embodied Souls. And I'm going to go into more in depth on each one of these issues that we face. Again, I'm not here to, I don't monetize anything. I'm not selling anything. I'm a roofer, for God's sake. I'm a freaking roofer. That's all I am in this physical life. I attain to nothing else. And like I said in my last video, I am not here to try to make any more money than it takes for me to survive. And I am doing everything I can to cut out everything that I spend money on in order to get away from this whole system. That's the only way to win at this game is to not fucking play it. It is we live in a rigged system, just like your rigged sports, just like your football, your baseball, your basketball, all your sports games are all rigged. And you guys are in love and you just want to watch it and you want to talk about the stats of each one of your players and look forward all week to that shit instead of spending time for yourself. You need to refocus your energy and your attention and your intention into healing, into figuring this thing out, into facing the demons that haunt you your whole life that you've been running away from. You need to look under the bed that you've been afraid of, those monsters that are lurking at night just waiting to consume you. You need to open that closet door. You need to get out of your bed, walk over and open that closet door and face those fucking monsters head on. Because that's the only way you're going to heal. And again, this healing is not just physical. It's not just your food. If you think you're going to start taking care of your shit and just change your diet up, it's not going to happen. The time for those types of parlor games is over. Now is the time to fix everything. It took you 40 years to get here, guys. 40 years. Think of how many times you sat down at a meal or snacked and went, oh my God, this is going to give me heartburn. Oh my God, this is going to hurt. Oh my God, I'm going to pay for this tomorrow. Oh my God. But you still did it anyways. You went through 40 years, however many years old you are of that. And now all of a sudden you're going to start changing. You think it's going to happen overnight? I don't think so. This is the hardest, most difficult, most mind-blowing thing you will ever do. It's the most rewarding, it's the most freeing, and the most liberating thing you'll ever do as well. It's the only thing that's worth it. So yeah, I will be starting another channel to go into more detail. Again, I'm not selling anything. I'm not trying to... all I'm trying to do, I started this because I thought I was going to die 1.5 years ago, and I wanted to make amends for being a terrible father to my kids. And so, I wanted to leave something for my kids, a legacy for my kids, so that way they could watch these videos if I passed and be able to figure this world out on their own. But I'm still here over 1.5 years later now, and I'm just getting healthier and healthier every day. So, I continue to make these videos. And again, my priority is for my kids, so that way this can help them unravel and untangle this mess that I helped create for them in their lives. And that's it. That's my intention with these videos. So, yeah, I think I touched on just about everything I want to touch on. I gotta get back here because I gotta get to another customer who's got a leak on their roof. And then go get my youngest son today for the weekend. So happy about that. I wasn't sure if he was coming because of Thanksgiving, if he was gonna spend it with family up at his mom's or what he was doing, but he's coming over this weekend. So I think that's pretty much it. Oh, again, guys, with YouTube, you can't believe any of those numbers you see on YouTube. You can't believe. I sit there and I watch view counts go up and down. I watch likes on videos go up and down. It's just completely manipulated. They shadow ban all of us who speak truth, that aren't doing these videos to to help keep people enslaved or propagate or perpetuate the enslavement. They shadow ban all of us who do not, help perpetuate this system of enslavement. So those of us who are speaking truth, who are really, getting to the nitty gritty and challenging others to, do the same and give up on these breads and circuses and quit participating, they don't want us heard. So, it's not like I show up in any type of algorithm. I don't show up anywhere on YouTube. You have to search for my ass. So if you guys are having trouble finding my Embodied Spirit or Embodied Souls channel, let me know. And I'll see if there's something I can do about that to like push it, put a link or something. I don't know. I'm not very tech savvy. Again, I'm a roofer. So, the extent of my tech ability is being able to press record and record a video and then upload it. That's pretty simple. But I'll see if I can link my new channel. And we'll go from there. Take care of yourselves, guys, because nobody else is going to.